Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out. This is episode 208. I hope you're having a great summer weekend so far. So, are you? Let me know. Hit me up on social media. Tell me how you're doing, or just to say hi. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you want to find me there, it's Mark with a C, Saltzman, so M-A-R-C, S like Sam, A-L-T like Tom, Z, M-A-N. I write a tech tip of the day if you want to follow me on social media. So I think you'll really like that a lot, often accompanied by a video. We have a great show planned for you this hour. We're going to start with a company called Auddia that's offering a new way to listen to your local radio. After that, how technology can help take the sting out of mosquito bites. Also on the show this hour, a new and popular dating app for gamers. Yep. And finally, learn about the latest e-reader from Kobo called the Elipsa and what makes it unique. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out, powered by Asus for those in search of incredible, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off a brand new Tech It Out with our first interview. Call it Radio Reinvented. Auddia is a new platform that lets you listen to your favorite local radio with stations added each month. Plus, you can personalize your listening experience, skip what you don't want to hear, and more. To explain what Auddia is and how it works, we're joined by Jeff Trayman. He is the founder and executive chairman of Auddia, which is spelled A-U-D-D-I-A. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Appreciate you having us.
Why don't we dive right in? At a high level, what is Auddia all about?
We're really focused on reinventing how consumers interact with audio. And we're doing that with two products. One is the Auddia app and one is the Vodacast app. So Auddia is really the name of the company, and we're doing this through these two apps. And what the Auddia app does is allow the consumer to really personalize how they listen to AM/FM radio. And the Vodacast app really focuses on the podcast space.
Got it. Let's focus on the former for a moment. So I'm a fan of my local radio stations in whatever city, whether it's music or talk. But instead of tuning the dial to that particular station, this app called Auddia, A-U-D-D-I-A, can also stream this content.
So the way it works is when you download the app, you're essentially downloading two pieces of technology. One is essentially a digital audio recorder. Just imagine a digital DVR.
Yep.
So you're downloading that, and you're also downloading an AI algorithm that we have created. And this is our proprietary AI for audio platform, where we've essentially taught this AI to know the differences between all the different pieces of content on radio. So it knows a song from a DJ talking from a commercial. And this allows us to really process that stream that you record. So when the consumer downloads the app, first thing they do is they select the stations that they want to listen to, their favorite stations, and we connect them to the public URL of that station. They then record that stream, and then we process it with our AI to allow them to customize it.
Okay, but it won't be live then, since you have to process it first.
Yeah, exactly. The minimum amount is about 40 to 50 seconds to process the first piece of content. So when you first select the station that you want to listen to, we'll put up, a piece of content that's similar to what would typically be played on that station, and we'll be broadcasting that as Auddia.
Cool. So I'm in Boston and there's a talk radio station that I love there, or I live in Phoenix and there's a rock station. Regardless of your musical taste or what kind of talk radio you're into, you download the Auddia app, you select the stations that you want to listen to, and then going forward, you open the Auddia app in order to consume this content.
That's correct.
And tell us a bit more about adding personalized content. Does it serve up audio that may be relevant to your tastes?
Yeah, it does. And the product evolves. So at first, what we're serving up is essentially 15 different music formats. And then we have a couple of other content options, one being comedy, another being audio versions of your Twitter feed, and then a pretty broad category that we call shortcasts. And what shortcasts are, these are news segments, sports updates, stock reports, those sorts of things that you can select and listen to. And over time, as we learn what you like and what you want to find, we go out and look for those things and make suggestions and can put things in front of you. And if you don't like them, you can skip them. And we use that as basically a thumbs up or thumbs down. And we can sort of learn what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, and I want to ask you more about that in a moment because I was sort of intrigued by a feature that I hinted at in my introduction. But we are chatting with Jeff Trayman. He is the founder and CEO of Auddia. That's Auddia. It's an app that lets you listen to your local radio in a very fresh way. So I understand that you can bypass commercials with Auddia. Can you talk to us about how that works?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, if you go back to what I said about our AI platform, it's able to identify when the radio station is playing commercials or your recording of the station is playing commercials. And then we're able to offer up other content to listen to instead. It's sort of like mimicking what people do today when they're listening to a station on air in the car. And a station will go to commercial break, and they tend to push the button and skip over to another station looking for additional content. We sort of automate that process with the commercials.
Okay. Now, people may be listening to this interview on their local radio station right now, Jeff. What would the station managers, the program directors think about that, about skipping, just to play devil's advocate for a moment, skipping through commercials? They probably wouldn't like that much, even though the consumer would.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting dynamic. We're getting a lot of different responses from the broadcasters. The big advantage for broadcasters to do this is it just generates more revenue for them than the ad revenue. I say that because when we work with broadcasters or we have their stations on our platform, we're asking them to get on air and promote the idea that there's a premium listening experience for the consumer. And if you really look at what's happened with subscription revenue on all the other types of media, video, news, you have the subscription component, and radio is really the last big media platform that hasn't offered this premium experience. So we're looking for our broadcast participants in the Auddia app to get on air to tell their audience that this experience is available. And we've done some research and testing on this, and we believe there's somewhere between 5 and 7% of the audience that might convert over to this subscription revenue. And broadcast radio gets a piece of that through the model that we have put together, and it's typically more lucrative than what they could make on the ad model.
Interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask you if the station gets a piece of the revenue you generate by selling the app, the service. And speaking of which, before we continue and chat about podcasts, how much does Auddia cost at this point? I know it's relatively new as a platform and you haven't signed on that many stations just yet.
Yeah, we decided to go at a $5.99 price point. And then as we loaded up with more stations and more content choices, we're hoping to be able to bump it to $11.99. This is kind of what our research has told us. Mm-hmm. So that's the current way that we're operating. And anybody who comes in at that $5.99 price in these early stages will lock that price in for as long as they subscribe, even when we go to $11.99.
Who would you say the app is for, Jeff? And also tell us a bit more about playing podcasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think the app is really the Auddia app, really for anybody who's interested in consuming local content that really only radio has, and also looks for that programming expertise that radio has. As more and more audio options become available, programming becomes more important, and selecting the things that you want to listen to in an easy format is really the target market that we're going after. Mm-hmm. We also have shown in our research that we do very well for people that are already paying a subscription to things like SXM, Spotify, Pandora, because they get tired of the playlist after playlist after playlist, and they want some context. They want to know about the artist. They want more of that kind of local flavor in there.
Yeah.
We think we pull twice as much from there as we do from the radio groups. So that's really who we see as the target audience on the Auddia side.
And then for podcasts?
Yeah, for podcasting, the big thing that we're bringing to the table there is really interactivity. So when podcasters are out researching their shows, they're finding all kinds of content that's of interest, but they really have no place to put it. So we're introducing a digital feed that runs in the Vodacast app and can also be available through a show notes link on any other podcast player for that particular podcaster. And they're able to put all this content in this feed, sync it to the audio, and then be able to let their audience check out this additional content.
Cool. And what's that app called? You said it was a different one than Auddia.
That's Vodacast. That's Vodacast.
All right. So between Vodacast and Auddia, they're both available now.
Yeah, you can go to the app stores; they're there, and you can also go to the website, Auddia.com, and Vodacast also has its own website at Vodacast.com.
All right, I'm intrigued, so I'm going to check it out. Thank you so much for your time, Jeff, and I hope you have a great summer, and best of luck as this matures and evolves over time.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you helping us tell a story.
Hey, we'll be right back with more Tech It Out.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, everyone. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. This show is powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS, if you didn't know, creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, smartwatches, tablets, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. Mosquito bites are an age-old problem, but perhaps tech may be able to help. Joining us on the line to learn about Bite Away is Farron Segabil. He is the Director of Sales and Marketing for Mibitech US, the makers of Bite Away. Thanks for your time, Farron.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
It's been said good technology solves a problem. I hinted at what that problem may be in my introduction. With this in mind, tell us what Bite Away is all about.
Sure. You are exactly right in that technology really provides new and innovative solutions to age-old problems. Our product, which is called Bite Away, uses your body's physiology to treat and reduce and or eliminate the effects of any kind of bug bite or mosquito bite. And it's done naturally by your body's own mechanisms instead of using, chemicals or some other topical mechanism.
Before we learn how it works, you do have some research that does, in fact, confirm mosquito bites are the bane of our summer existence. Is that fair?
That is absolutely true. Anecdotally, I'm sure we all probably know, especially myself, I live in Texas and our company is based here in Austin, Texas. And for us, from around spring break time, which here starts in March until well into October, we have mosquitoes, we have chiggers, we have sea lice down on the beach or even wasp and bees. Right. So they're around us all year round. And we did a omnibus survey in 2019, 2020, and actually learned that the second biggest deterrent for people going outdoors or enjoying the outdoors is fear of insect bites.
Huh, interesting. What was number one?
Weather.
Too hot.
Yeah, too hot, too rainy.
Before we talk about how Bite Away works, Farron, what is it that causes that really annoying itch when we get a mosquito bite?
So when you get a mosquito bite or a bee sting or any kind of annoying bite, it's really not the bite itself that is causing the pain and the swelling and itching. What's causing that is your body's reaction, your body's defensive mechanism toward the irritation or to the foreign substance. So to take mosquitoes for a specific example, they have a saliva that they use when they bite you, and that saliva is an anticoagulant, and that coagulant, causes your blood to flow because obviously that's what mosquitoes want. And that creates a histamine reaction in your body. And it's a histamine reaction, just like any other kind of allergic reaction, that causes the pain and swelling and overall annoyance from any kind of body or foreign insect bite to you. And that's what we combat.
All right. And how do you combat it? How does Bite Away work?
when your body creates a histamine reaction, these mast cells, which are the cells that are in below your epidermis that create the histamine release and reaction. So what happens is these histamines are released around the bite, and like the instant you have that bite, you probably don't even see anything, but wait a few minutes and it starts to turn red, and it starts to probably whelp up a little bit or swell a little bit, and the area kind of spreads. And that is essentially the cascade of histamines just being released and kind of spreading out while your body is combating whatever foreign substances in your body. Now, what the heat does at a specific temperature, which is about 51 degrees Celsius, it actually turns off those histamine receptors. So by that activity or by that action of your body, the bite is essentially erased.
Wow. And because it's radio, could you explain what Bite Away looks like and walk us through what you do? So you're camping with friends, you feel a massive mosquito bite on your arm. What do you do?
So the best and most effective way to utilize our product is as soon as you feel it, because again, the histamines are starting to be released, and that's why you feel it. You push one of the two buttons. There are two buttons on the product, and it's a very conveniently sized, pocket-sized product. It's about the size of a fat marker. If you know what a Sharpie is like, it's about the size of a Sharpie marker. And there are two buttons on it. There's a 3-second button and a 5-second button. And those two options are mainly just for personal preference. Some people are more heat sensitive than others, and some actually prefer the longer heat setting. So you push a button, it gives you a beep of confirmation, and it starts to warm up. And there's a little ceramic disc on the tip of the product. And you just apply that ceramic disc to your bite area. When it reaches the desired temperature of about 51 degrees, which is about 124 degrees Fahrenheit, the light at the indicator light will indicate and turn on. And for whatever period you selected, 3 or 5 seconds, it'll stay on for that amount of time. And then you'll hear a following beep, and it'll essentially turn off. So it's timed. It will not go for beyond its set time, and this is a safety mechanism that we've built in. And it's really that simple. It just is applied localized thermotherapy that turns off those receptor cells and stops the pain and itch of a bite.
We are chatting with Farron Segabil. He is the Director of Sales and Marketing for Mebitech US, the folks behind the Bite Away product. We're learning how it can combat mosquito bites and other bites and stings as well. Dumb question, but do you have proof that it works?
We do. A lot of proof. So as a part of a larger medical products company, we are a regulated product. We actually are a class 2 medical device where we are FDA approved.
Great.
And we went through a lot of research to make sure our product really does what it claims to do.
How much does Bite Away cost, Farron, and where could we buy it?
Our Bite Away retails for $39.99. You can find it on Amazon. We're also are found on Target.com, HomeDepot.com, Lowe's.com, and AceHardware.com. The official website is called TakeTheBiteAway.com.
TakeTheBiteAway.com. All right, Farron Segabil, thank you so much for your time, and congrats on the success of Bite Away.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Stay with us. A lot more Tech It Out coming right up.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
You're listening to Tech It Out on the Radio America Network. Welcome back. When it comes to dating, some may say opposites attract. But if you subscribe to that other adage that birds of a feather flock together and you're into video games, well, you're going to enjoy this next interview as we're going to learn about Kippo. It's a dating app for gamers. Here to help us level up is David Park. He's co-founder, CEO, and engineer at Kippo. Welcome to the show, David.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Let's dive right in. Tell us about Kippo, and for our listeners, it's spelled Kippo, and why you decided to create an app for gamers.
Yeah, on the surface, it's very simple. It's exactly what you said. Kippo is a dating app for gamers. It's for people with shared interests to, come together, meet each other, and hopefully find something special. But on a little bit deeper, the reason we started Kippo is not only did we want to build something for this community, but video games are just a great way to get to know somebody, get to interact in a safer, low friction environment before you get to meet somebody in person.
Okay, so that kind of answers my next question. I get the premise about finding like-minded individuals, right? You have the same hobby, but Kippo is also different in how you connect people for those looking for a companion. So it's inside of a virtual or interactive environment.
Yeah, absolutely. On traditional dating apps, it's just a big jump to go from swiping on someone's faces, exchanging a couple messages, and then all of a sudden you're meeting basically a complete stranger for drinks or for dinner. There's a safety factor of it. There's an anxiety factor to it as well. Video games, again, it's just really low friction. It's something that you both love to do. You can either, play a game that you both love or try out a new game. You're in the comfort of your home, but you can hear each other through voice chat, get to know each other, interact, see what the chemistry is like, and then decide if you actually want to take that jump and meet in person.
All right. So gaming is replacing just maybe the text back and forth before you actually meet in person, just to see if there's something there. That's sort of the premise. So you're matching people who have the same likes, which is gaming, and then also using games to virtually connect before they connect and go out on a physical date. I like that a lot. So Kippo started about a year ago, is that right? And how are you evolving the platform and what's next?
So our grand vision for Kippo is, we like to say, Kippo is the ultimate way to hang out with friends and meet new people. Now, that might seem like a big jump from a dating app for gamers, but we're actually using video games as a medium through which people meet new people. Now, the biggest use case for that on the internet right now is for dating, and people love using Kippo for that. But already, a lot of people on Kippo are using it just to meet new people to play games with or to be friends with. This stigma around meeting people on the internet is completely going away, and it's expanding beyond dating. And, there's this whole saying, and it's almost a meme at this point, when people always ask, how do you meet people when you're out of college? And there's really no great way to do that. So we are building a digital platform where you can do just that.
And you already have like hundreds of thousands of users, right?
Yeah, we're live in US and Canada right now, mostly in the US. We have about 300,000 people on the platform.
And I noticed that you call Kippo a dating and social app. So it's not all about finding a companion. It's also about socializing as well. But do you first look at people's profiles before you invite them to play a game of, say, Fortnite or something?
Yeah, so you do have profiles on Kippo. We actually spend a lot of time building out custom profiles. We call it our profile card deck system. I like to say it's a little bit like MySpace meets Pinterest. We created a series of templates that you can fill out. We have everything from game-specific cards like a League of Legends card to shows, anime, horoscopes, just a lot of fun card templates that make it really easy to fill out and create a beautifully animated and illustrated profile. I'm sure people that have used dating apps have seen, most profiles are just like one photo and like a one-liner bio, and you really can't get to know the other person at all. Our profile card deck system makes it fun. So, over 90% of our users have filled out their entire profile, and it gives you a multi-dimensional view of that person before you decide, hey, I want to send a message. I want to reach out to this person and connect.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And where do you think Kippo can go going forward?
We want to make Kippo a fully immersive digital experience. So again, going back to this idea of Kippo is the ultimate way to hang out with friends and meet new people. This term about the metaverse is being thrown out a lot these days.
Yeah.
And it's this idea of these virtual platforms where you can truly do anything you can do in the physical world on a digital platform. And that's what we want to do. We want to replicate what is it like to hang out with people at a bar, go to a friend's party, meet friends of friends. Instead of, again, we're swiping left and right on people. It's been 10 years and we're still swiping left and right on people's faces. We want to create a truly immersive human experience so that we can go back to, being social and truly getting to know each other.
Mm-hmm. I know you're an engineer as well. We are, by the way, talking with David Park, who's not just an engineer at Kippo, but also the chief executive officer and co-founder. What's the pricing model for Kippo? Like if someone's listening right now, they're intrigued, they like playing games, they may want to not just hang with friends, but meet a significant other. How much does it cost? And is it only an app or is it also a website?
It's just an app. You can find it in the App Store or the Play Store. It's completely free to download and completely free to use. We like to say that we give most of the features that other dating apps make you pay for free. We do have a premium subscription that starts at $14 a month. We intentionally price it at the lower end of the range. For us, it's just to cover server costs. We're not in the, obviously, eventually we need to make money as a company, but right now we're just trying to create the best possible experience for everyone. And long term, we have this vision, again, might be pie in the sky vision, but we want to give all these premium features for free and create the best possible experience for everyone.
And what do you get for the premium subscription opposed to the free one?
So there's a lot of cool cosmetic upgrades that we give. For starters, it expands your card slots on your profile. So instead of being able to fill out 3 templates, you can add 7. Again, some cosmetic upgrades to your profile. You can add borders. There's badges that we have. Again, it's more like MySpace meets Pinterest. Very customizable. It really lets you express yourself. You can change the colors in your chat. We don't want Kippo to be pay to win. We want to be pay to look cool. So that's kind of our focus for premium features.
All right. So David, what's the best website to learn more? I know it's an app, so you can just go to the App Store for iPhone or iPad or the Google Play Store for Android devices. But if somebody wanted to learn more about the company and the service itself.
Yeah, you can check out our website at kippoapp.com. Also, we're Kippo App on all socials, from Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you can find us on the internet.
Cool. What does Kippo mean, by the way?
Kippo actually means happiness in Korean. It comes from the Korean word Kippo. And, it's a little cheesy, but originally when we were thinking about Kippo, me and my co-founders were thinking, what's a major problem in the world that we can solve? And, there's energy crises and global warming and all this stuff. But we were also thinking, the rates of depression and loneliness and anxiety have just been going through the roof, especially with the younger generation. How can we address that? Is there anything we can do to help solve that? And we thought if people have the right people in their lives, it'll help that move in the right direction.
Love that. David, thank you so much for your time. Kippo sounds great. Again, kippo.com to learn more. Thanks again for your time and best of luck with this. Sounds awesome.
Thanks, Mark.
Stay with us. We've got more Tech It Out coming right up after this.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Tech It Out, hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out, a weekly program powered by ASUS, creating technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. ASUS, for those in search of incredible. Head over to asus.com/US/radio for more info on their back-to-school laptops. That's asus.com/US/radio. Not all ebook readers are created equal, evident with the recent launch of the Kobo elipsa, a sleek new device that has some unique features that straddle the line between entertainment and productivity. It's a privilege to have back on the show Michael Tamblyn, CEO of Rakuten Kobo. Hi, Michael. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much for having me over.
Sure. I think it's been a few years since we've had you on the show. If I'm not mistaken, back in 2017, you joined me to chat about the Kobo Aura H2O waterproof e-reader. For those who haven't yet purchased a Kobo reader, what would you say makes your offerings unique?
The thing that allows us to stand out is that we're a company that's really only focused on one thing, and that's trying to create a great reading experience for people who have books right at the center of their lives. So everything that we do, every product that we build, every piece of software that we update is about trying to make reading better. And we spend a lot of time talking to the people that work with us and that use us to find ways to either allow people to read more or fit reading into more parts of their day, or just make that experience when you sit down in a chair and you have a few minutes as good as it possibly can be.
Yeah. Is it tough to be a thought leader in this space? It seems that other e-reader companies have maybe rested on their laurels a bit, but not Kobo.
I think it's the thing that's allowed us to not just survive, but thrive in a really competitive space. And I say we're lucky. We only have 3 competitors. They just happen to be, the largest e-commerce company in the world, the most successful hardware company in the world, the world's biggest search engine. So, it's nice to have a small list of people that you have to worry about. It just happens that they're really big. But the reason that we've been able to do that is because we don't have to worry about selling you an ad, and we're not really thinking about trying to also sell you a television. We just want your reading experience to be as good as it possibly can be.
Mm-hmm. And how many books are available at the Kobo ebook store today?
Oh, I think we blew past 6 million a while ago, and there are tens of thousands of new books being added every week. It's interesting because they do come from all over. Kobo is a very international company. We deliver ebooks to, I think, about 150 countries every week and users all over the world. So it's always interesting to watch e-reading and reading digitally kind of moving from country to country and place to place as more people start to love both the convenience of it and the savings that they can find from it and find that it's a great experience.
I've also taught my mom how to borrow books from her local library on her Kobo. Yeah, so Overdrive is a platform that's integrated in Kobos that allow you to borrow books just by reserving them in advance, and there's no late fees. You don't have to leave your home. And so that is something that I think also gives you a competitive advantage over other e-readers out there.
We had taken from the very beginning the idea that people read in lots of different ways, and not just reading both in print and in digital, but people both buy books and borrow books. And so the last thing we wanted to do was to say to a big group of readers, hey, we don't want to work with you. And so the connection that we've had with Overdrive has been great for both engaging with public libraries and people who use public libraries and making sure that that vital piece of the reading ecosystem gets supported.
Mm-hmm. Now, without further ado, I did tease off the top, there's a new Kobo out called the Elipsa, and I wanted to take advantage of your time here to explain what the hype is all about. What makes the Elipsa unique?
It's one of our most groundbreaking devices, I think. And it really, again, comes from that constant dialogue that we have with readers. So people have always come to Kobo because they love stories. We have passionate reading fans who are deep into literature, science fiction, fantasy, mystery, and all of that kind of reading. One group that we hadn't seen as often were people who were reading for information or for ideas or for education. And I've always found that the people who aren't using your product tell you really interesting things. So when we started to ask them, what is it that's holding you back from reading more digitally, the most common thing that they would say is, I don't just read a book, I engage with it. I don't just want to be able to read it, I write in it. I highlight it, I mark things up, I make notes, and I need to be able to do that if I'm going to get everything I want to out of the book that I'm reading. And that really gave us pause to think. We'd made devices that were incredible for reading, but what would we do for that person who wants to really engage with a book? It literally took us back to the drawing board to think about what would make an interesting, engaging experience for that kind of reader. The idea that you can open up a book, you can mark it up, you can circle and highlight and annotate. So that got us into the thinking that became Kobo Elipsa. So it's our largest device. It's like a 10.3 inch screen. And it isn't just great for reading, but it also supports a stylus so that you can circle, highlight, annotate. You can also open up your own notebook and write down your own thoughts. And we thought that that was probably the best thing that we could do to engage that kind of reader and to see that the reading and writing are really interchangeable and are part of this ability to engage with ideas. That's really what Kobo is all about. Getting the most out of a book is what we want people to do. We're not trying to replace a pad of paper. We're trying to extend how you find and capture and create ideas. That's what Kobo Elipsa is for.
Awesome. We're going to learn more about the Kobo Elipsa when we return. Stay with us.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Check It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Michael Tamblyn, CEO of Rakuten Kobo. We are learning about the newest e-reader in the family, the Elipsa. And I would agree with you, Michael, that it's not a one-size-fits-all scenario. Some people may want a 5 or 6 inch e-reader that's waterproof to bring by the pool. Others may want something twice the size, as you said, 10.3 inches, that is bundled with a stylus. And I can definitely see the appeal, especially among students who are maybe reading books and textbooks and wanting to mark up the pages and make their own handwritten notes in the corners and annotate in other areas. So I can see the appeal there for sure. How has the Kobo Elipsa been received so far?
As is so often the case when we take a bit of a risk in the products that we're putting out, we always we take a fairly conservative stance. Maybe only a few people will like this. Maybe this is only going to be a niche product. It's the demand's been pretty fantastic, and so we're blowing through our first production round.
Awesome.
We're having to go back and figure out how to create more, and I think it tapped into a certain capability that maybe people didn't even know that they were missing. And that was that idea about creating focus. And certainly one of the things that had always appealed to people about e-readers, like Kobo's e-readers, is that you're just doing that one thing. You're just sitting down with a book, you're escaping into it, or you're learning from it, and you don't have anything else coming at you from the sides. Your email isn't going off, you're not getting social media alerts. And similarly, I think people have felt that about having a writing experience where they want all of the benefits of digital. They want infinite, we've got a storage in the cloud. They want the ability to have notes backed up so that if a disaster happens, those thoughts don't go away. But they don't want the constant interruptions that come from a multifunction connected device. Mm-hmm. And so this really is, it's a thinking machine in a lot of ways. It's about both being able to take in ideas and also put ideas down on digital paper without all of the other distractions that so often come with electronics.
That said, I know there are Kobo apps that you can install on your tablet, like an iPad.
Absolutely.
And it's synchronized as well for those times where you do want to have access to your books on the device that you have with you. But certainly don't try to bring a tablet outside in the summer and read it, because it's not going to work so well. Is the elipsa as easy to read outside? Is it the e-ink screen? That's the non-glare screen?
It is. Yeah, it's a beautiful e-ink screen where I think we're also the first one of this type of devices that has brought the same kind of front lighting that we have with other Kobo devices. So it'll still work in a pitch black room. You can still be reading while your significant other is asleep next to you without having to have a lamp on. All of the good things that have always been with Kobo e-readers has been built into this. And we've just added this new additional dimension of being able to write as well as read.
So Michael, as we wrap up, tell us how much the Kobo elipsa costs and again, what you get in the box as well.
Sure. So this certainly sits at the premium end of our e-reader lineup. And we've always tried to have both entry-level devices for people that are trying to stretch their reading dollar, all the way up to very premium reading experiences for people that want to use this as their primary reading device. And so Kobo Elipsa is $399.99 in the US. And that's for the Kobo Elipsa pack. So that gets you a Kobo Elipsa and a sleep cover and the Kobo stylus all at the same time.
Got it. All right, Michael. And what's the best place to learn more about Kobo? It's simply kobo.com.
That's correct. Kobo.com, and you'll learn all about it. You'll get to see some great demos of how different people use the device in different ways, and we will take excellent care of you when you hit the buy button.
Awesome. I'm a huge fan of the Kobo family, always have been. So keep up the great work, Michael. It's a pleasure to chat with you again, and congrats on the launch of the Kobo Elipsa. Very exciting.
Mark, thank you so much.
Hey, I hope you all enjoyed a brand new Tech It Out this week. As you know, it is a 1-hour weekend show or about a 39-minute podcast if you prefer to listen to it on demand online instead of on your local radio station. Either way, thrilled to have you along. If you want to learn more about the program, you have suggestions for upcoming guests or topics, you can find me on social media. It's Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, SALTZMAN. I also write a tech tip of the day if you want to follow me on social, and I often accompany those posts with a video as well to show you how to pull off the little tech tip or trick or shortcut or hack or whatever. So I look forward to seeing you on social media. Once again, thank you to ASUS, the title sponsor on this program, as well as Western Digital, as you're thinking about getting students in the home back to school. And as you might get back to work, remember the importance of an external hard drive to back up those important files just in case. And you don't have to break the bank, which is great. WesternDigital.com has more. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Stay healthy, and I look forward to catching up with you next time on a brand new episode of Tech It Out. Take care, everyone.